While it's nice to have fun, water safety is becoming more important to prevent drowning.
Hey everybody, it's Alissa and Jessica from Colin's Hope coming at you for the world's largest swimming lesson 2020. It's a little bit weird and we're in a little bit of a different place this year because we're doing this virtual, but we are here to meet up with Swim Kim, and she's going to do some swimming lessons in the water that you can also do at home, perhaps. But Jessica and I are going to give you some water safety lessons, swimming lessons on the dry land. So that's what we're going to do here at Colin's Hope. We've got a great water safety with Colin and Friends curriculum. These are the friends, Colin and the friends. And we wanted to bring that to some of you guys. So some important things that we find important about water safety. Let's first start out with rules. There have to be water safety rules, whether that's pool rules, beach rules, just rules around water. It's so important that we have them. And at Colin's Hope, we have some rules, and we have this awesome bookmark that you can download, and you can create your family's own water safety rules. So we're going to challenge you guys to do that because that's so important when you're going to any kind of water to have rules. And we're going to talk about a few of those. Another one that's really important, because it's hot. I know it's hot where we are. I think it's probably, if it's summer, it's hot where you are. And we want to talk about sun safety for a second. So I've got my sunscreen. We have our sunscreen here, and it's important to put on sunscreen and protection, maybe a rash guard, but keep yourself protected from the sun, because when you're in the water and swimming, which is what we all want to be doing, that sun safety is incredibly important. And in that as well, we want to talk about staying hydrated. We've got our best day ever water bottle here, but making sure that when you're out in the sun swimming, you might feel cool in the water, but it's still hot outside. So the importance of making sure that you're hydrating. So those are some little things. Now, Jessica, let's teach them the whole hand rules. These are some water safety rules that we've come up with here at Colin's Hope that can help keep you safer around water. So Jessica, I'm going to kick it over to you, and I'm going to help you and hold things up as you need them.
Yes, so the whole hand rules are led by our friends Colin and Buddy right up there, and they're just really easy things that you can do to be safer around water. So we talk a lot about wait for a grown-up. So this is really important if you're going to be around water, that you ask for permission every time that you're going to go around water, and that you wait for a grown-up, an adult that's with your group, to be with you. And you point to a grown-up to remember that rule. Yep. Then we have grown-up should watch you. So yay, you asked for permission, your grown-up said yes, you're all going together. Now let's make sure that grown-up puts their binoculars on and they watch you in the water. So to remember that, you put your binoculars on and you remember, or you have your grown-up with you so that they can be a water guardian, an adult water guardian. We encourage your grown-ups to have a water guardian badge and to remember that they are undistracted. They are on duty for you.
And you can ask them if they're not watching you. If you have a grown-up who's not watching you, if they're on their phone or they're distracted, you can politely ask them, hey, grown-up, can you please watch me around water? Perfect.
Yeah. Then our next hand rule, learn to swim. Of course, the whole purpose of the world's largest swimming lesson, learn to swim. Melissa, show us what it looks like to swim.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be doing that a little bit later, but learning to swim is just one of the many things that you can do to be safer. Our next rule is wear a life jacket. So just like Alissa has a U.S. Coast Guard approved life jackets, they help you float, they help you stay on top of the water. To know that a life jacket fits you properly, there's super simple things you can do. All of the life jacket buckles should close. You can hear them click.
Here, wait.
Awesome. It should fit as tight as a hug. So just like if you were hugging yourself, that's how you remember this rule. It should fit as tight as a hug. And if you pull on the shoulders or get in the water, it should stay on your chest or and not go over your face. That's how you know it fits well. Also, if it's too tight, you'll know. And then our last whole hand rule rule is follow open water safety rules. Some of us might be going to the lake or the beach over the summer after we learn how to swim. So make sure that you swim on lifeguarded beaches, you have a grown-up with you, and that you know how to get out of a rip current.
Yep. And one of the things that's important to know about open water is that if you're learning to swim in a pool or in what we call closed water, it's different than if you go into open water. So there's lots of things that are different about swimming in a pool where it might, you know, how deep it is, or it might be shallow and you can see the bottom, or you can get out on the side. When you're going to open water, whether that's a beach or a lake or a pond or a river, you might not know how deep it is. The ground might be uneven. It might be hard to get out. So know that that open water is very different than being in a pool. And you can find out more open water safety information at Colin's Hope if you want to learn how to get out of a rip current. An easy thing, we'll just talk about that right now very quickly, is from our friends at the Great Lakes Surf Rescue Project. Just like you would learn fire safety, stop, drop, and roll, they have for how to get out of a rip current. We say yell for help and stay calm, but then flip over, float on your back, and follow. So flip, float, and follow the current out to the side. And you see in that picture that Jessica's holding up the rip current where the person is going out to the side. So if the rip current's pulling you out, you get alongside the shore. So you can find out more about that. But those are open water safety rules that we like.
What can they do to remember this rule? What's the hand motion for this one?
Yeah. Open water. This is my favorite one, right? You know? Yep. So those are some of our rules. Let's talk really quickly about what you should do if you see someone struggling in the water. So if you see someone who looks like they might be drowning, someone that might need help, what can we do? So first of all, you yell for help. You want to yell for help and get some help. So yell for help. And then once someone has heard you, they can call for a lifeguard or call 911 or something. Then you can reach or throw someone something that floats. So for example, if there's a life jacket, or if there is a pool noodle, or if there's a ring buoy, or look around you for things that float, but you reach or throw them something that floats. So yell for help. Reach or throw them something that floats, and don't go. We don't want you going in after someone to help them if you're not a trained rescuer, because then you could get into trouble and drown. So we say yell, reach or throw something that floats, and don't go in. And so that's really important. One last little water safety tip that I think we want to talk about is just, again, deep water and shallow water. We don't want people to dive into water. Go feet first into water. You never know how deep it is unless there's a diving board and you're at a diving well, and that's what's supposed to be happening. But we want to get in the water safely. So we want to either walk in if there are steps, or walk in if there is a beach entry, or jump in off of if there's a diving board or something there, which I think is super important. And then what else? Any last minute? What else do we have?
I think we covered a lot of things, but I am really excited to go swimming.
I know. So we're gonna send you off now to our friend Swim Kim, and she is gonna talk about do some swimming lessons. And then these are things that you can practice at home. You can practice with your adult. You can practice them in your backyard pool. And we know that learning to swim is such an important thing. And I know that I am 46 years old and I love to swim. It's something I learned as a young child, learned how to float on my back as a young child, and I still do it a lot year round. So learning how to swim is so important. And it's also one of the things that helps keep you safer around water. And so in drowning prevention, we say that learning to swim is a layer of protection. So thank you to the World's Largest Swimming Lesson for doing this every year. We know it's a little bit different this year, but we are at Colin's Hope. We're so happy to be a partner. We're so happy to be working with Swim Kim and Face and Water to bring some dry land and some swimming lessons in the water. So with that, everybody have the best day ever, and we look forward to getting in the water with you soon.